Good morning. It is Friday, April 2nd, School Spirit Day. Are you wearing your Banfield t-shirts or your Packer t-shirts? Today, the things that you're going to need are your work from home packet and turn to day 5. Your reading is any choice of books that you want to read. Math, we're going to continue with chapter 13, lesson 4, so you need your math worksheets. Mrs. Hotchkiss put down list 3 positive character traits you have learned this year. And Mrs. Zerke would ask you to watch a musical movie and compare 2 songs from the movie by putting your responses in a double bubble map or a Venn diagram. So let's get started. Reading today, I want you to record your title and author and the number of minutes you've read, and then pretend that you are asked to rewrite this book. What is one part that you would like to change, and then how would that make the story better? So I'm using Winn-Dixie again, putting my title, author, and I decided the part I would like to change is when Winn-Dixie runs away. And how would that make the story better? No one would be sad about losing the dog, and the story could end with everyone enjoying the party. So how would you change the book that you are reading? Go ahead and fill that out. When you have it, take a picture. Grammar today continues with plural nouns. The words that we did yesterday, we just added S and ES to the word, and we concentrated on boxes 1 and 2. Today we're going to look at 2 other types. Go down to box number 5, and if a word ends with F or FE, when you change it to its plural, it drops those letters and changes it to a VES. For example, you have 1 loaf of bread, but you might see a whole bunch of loaves of bread on the shelf in the grocery store. They changed the F to a VES. Knife, 1 knife, many knives, changing the FE to a VES. So you're going to have a couple that look like that, and then you're also going to go down to box 7. And sometimes nouns, when they change to the plural, totally change their spelling altogether. For example, look at what they have in box 7. 1 child. You don't say, look at all the childs out there. You change it to children, okay? And there is no such a thing as mouses. It changes to mice. So today you're going to concentrate on boxes 5 and 7. If you have any trouble figuring out the spelling of the plural, use a dictionary or the internet to help you. This is the last day of your writing project. You get to draw a picture to go with your paragraph. So have fun drawing the picture, make it colorful. Show it to somebody in your family, and then would you please take a picture of the illustration and your paragraph and send it to me. Today for math, you're going to start with your warm-up as usual in your work from home packet, and it looks like it's a story problem and then some simple fractions. And then you need to find your math worksheets from your workbook, pages 845 to 850. And it's reviewing again, area. So looking at this figure on this screen, how would you describe how to measure the area in your own words? Give you a couple of seconds to think about that. I wish I could hear your responses. But I was thinking you can do 2 things. You can either count all the squares, or you can find the length and the width and multiply them to find the area. Here, they're asking you to do exactly that. Describe how the formula area, A, equals L, length times W, which is width. relates to counting the squares. So if you just counted all these squares in this rectangle, you would see that there are 12 of them. And if we look at the length of the figure, we see across the top that there are 4. And the width going down the side, we see there are 3. And the relationship that we see here is that 4 times 3 equals 12. Length times width equals the area. So turn to page 845 now. You should see at the top of your worksheet. The Perez family wants to put the sandbox shown in their backyard. What's the area? So one way you could do it is count all of the squares. And if you take the time to count those squares, you would find there are 50 square units, which is 50 square feet, and the area would be 50 square feet. Or you can use the formula length times width. So it would be 10 times 5, which is 50. These two key concepts just show you how to find the area using a formula. With the square, it's square times square, side times side, which would be the area. And with the rectangle, it's length times width. So remember that in doing your homework. In example 2, it shows a square with only one side marked and the area given. And if you use the formula, area equals side times side, you can substitute 64 in for the area because we know that. One of the sides is 8, and 8 times what equals 64? You also know that if it's a square, both sides are the same, right? So 8 meters is the missing side. Now you can practice with any problems on 846 to 847, but you do not need to send a picture of your practice. Your homework is pages 849 to 850. Please do problems 1 through 7. Here's another helpful hint. Draw pictures to help you with the story problems. Please take a picture of the homework pages only, and if you have any questions, call or email. Social Studies today, one final time going to U.S. symbols, but this time don't watch the video. Go and pick out one of the 8 activities. You can do any of them. The joke is kind of really sad, but you can pick any of them that you'd like. And then the just for fun in your work from home packet is to find a different fun spot to read, like your bathtub, closet, under a table, or in a fort, in your backyard, or in bed, anywhere that you think would be fun. Well, guys, TGIF, you've worked really hard this week. Enjoy the weekend. See you on Monday and stay safe.